Hey everybody, welcome to another show. Jim Hall here, you there, and this is You Oughta Know. Why? Because you should, or you oughta know. We are right here today, and it looks like wintertime behind me. Take a look at this. Ski hats are out, snowboarders are here. Where are we today? We're going to talk about Mountain High Ski Resort in the San Gabriel Mountains, just a few miles from Victorville, actually. The high desert community just down the hill. And it's starting to blow a little wind here today. Snow back here behind me. Temperatures down in the low 40s to the low 50s. And down in Victorville this afternoon, it's about 68 degrees. Quite a difference. They're about 12 to 15 miles away. But stick with us, everybody. We're going to take a look at Mountain High Ski Resort right here. Why? Simply because you ought to know. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody. Jim Hall, You Oughta Know, and we are here in the San Gabriel Mountains at the Mountain High Ski Resort. And with me, to give us your name,
Ramon Baggio.
And Ramon, you do what here at Mountain High?
I run the patrol, grooming, snowmaking, basically whatever happens on the mountain I run.
Well, that sounds like the whole operation right here.
Pretty much, except for lifts. Someone else runs that, yes.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about Mountain High. First off, as I mentioned, we're only a few miles off the high desert area, and yet when I left there today, as we're doing this show, 68 degrees down there today. I got up here and we're at about 49 degrees when we got here. But the snow, tell us about the snow that we're visualizing right now.
We made the snow over about 3 or 4 nights. We have about anywhere between 8 and 2 feet of snow right now. I think we have the most snow in Southern California. Again, I think for the 8th year in a row, we were the first to open, and we have a lot of terrain open right now, actually.
And all that's going to do is expand now through the season.
Exactly, yes. Actually, we plan on, again, making snow tomorrow night and probably Saturday night, all through the weekend again, and we'll be picking up more terrain even as in the next few days already.
All right, well, I want to caution everybody to listen real close today, because at some point we're going to be giving away some ski lift tickets. In fact, we're going to do that each day that this show airs, and that's going to air 5 different days, and you're going to get a chance to get a lift ticket to Mountain High Ski Resort here. But Ramon, let's talk about the ski resort itself. A little bit of the history of Mountain High. Can you tell us some of that?
Wow, the history. Okay, it used to be 2 separate resorts. There's actually 3 resorts right now. There's West Resort here. There's East Resort, which used to be called Holiday Hill, and actually we just recently acquired Sunrise 2 years ago, and that's mostly a tubing area and a tubing adventure park over there. But at West Resort, what we concentrate mostly on is terrain features, what the snowboarders refer to as the fault line crew here. So if you look up there, if we're able to pan view up there, you can see that's one of our terrain features up there. Boxes, rails, jibs. And we concentrate mostly in the West Resort with those that kind of market.
Well, and when you talk about that, as they're looking up the mountain there, you see some of the terrain and how steep it gets and some of the obstacles that are there. Are you really catering over at the West now to the snowboarder?
Definitely. We're definitely catering to the younger crowd that's interested in doing those kind of terrain features, yes. East Resort is more, we try to maintain East Resort as strictly just for skiers or for those who don't want to be involved with terrain features, but here at West Resort it's full bore terrain features.
Now, when we talk about some of the full bore terrain features, what are we talking about? How steep are some of these angles or the mountainsides here?
Well, we're not talking about the trail itself. We're talking about terrain features. We're talking about the jibs, the boxes.
Okay.
What you would normally see, for example, in a skateboard park. Here we have those same things in a snowboard area. So that's what we're talking about here. So, and there's for all levels of ability, from beginner to intermediate to expert.
Well, so tell us about that. As we're looking kind of behind us here, describe this lift here, and then you've got an area adjacent there that says playground. Who is that geared toward?
That is a special area where we have our specialty features aligned there. We're going to be building it up this weekend, and there we have 5 or 6 features that everyone can just hike up or play with there. But we call it the playground, obviously, because we're appealing to that youth market.
And when you talk about the playground, what group does that really, is that a beginner? Can a beginner use that playground?
At times, yes, there will be beginner features, and I think it's pretty much for everybody, for every level of ability there, yes. And that's what we concentrate most at our mountain. You can ride any terrain feature on our hill from beginner to expert.
All right, now the snowboarders obviously is something that's being catered to by a large percentage. How big a percentage is that? How many, what's the percentage of snowboarders versus people that are conventionally using 2 skis and coming down the mountain?
I would say here at Mountain High, we're close to 80%.
Well, that seems huge, that number.
Well, compared to the rest of the country, there's parts of the country that are still at 50-50. Yeah, we're well above that.
So the adjacent mountains over in the San Bernardino Mountains are still about 50-50 on their resorts with snowboarders and skiers.
Oh, no. Big Bear and Summit are still also heavily catering to snowboarders as well.
Okay. Well, the snowboarders certainly have a home here. We always hear about Mountain High. So tell us about some of the snowboarders that you've seen or you've worked with, or people that you've seen come to Mountain High, and what that season's expected to be like year to year.
I'm not sure.
Well, you talk about snowboarders coming out. You see a lot of beginners, I'm sure, each year. As they come back, do you see these people really advance over the years?
Oh, definitely. And it's you see it here at Mountain High especially. I mean, they come here, they learn to snowboard here at our winter sports school, and then the next year they're coming back and they're already on jibs and rails. And we see a lot of that even throughout the season. The customers we have are really loyal to us. I mean, they'll be here every day. You can see we're starting our night shift already, and they're already here coming after school. So it's not surprising to see a kid, 4 or 5 times a week.
Well, now as we do this show, we will let everybody know this is kind of the mid-afternoon coming into the evening hour, and the parking lot's starting to fill up. A lot of people are starting to arrive to get up here and start doing it to it. So school's out and people start showing up, don't they?
Exactly, and especially on a Thursday night, some of those kids or some of those people with jobs are thinking, okay, how can I call in sick tomorrow to get back at Mountain High for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday session?
Well, you got a lot of people that just live for the season too, don't they?
Exactly. Yes, they do, and they're all very excited to be here, especially in our opening days. They're all very, very excited.
All right. Now you obviously have full access to everything here, meaning if you don't have equipment, you can get equipment here.
Yes, we have a full service rental area. We have a full service ski school area, and we just recently renovated our lodge. So, yeah, things are even getting better here at Mountain High.
Yeah, and we're going to be taking a look at the lodge, too. You're going to see some shots of that because it has been renovated. I had a little taste of the chili, a chili bowl and a bread bowl in there, and warmed me up a little bit. Got a little cool out here, but we enjoyed it. Ramon, we're going to be back because we're actually going to talk more about the mountains themselves, and then we're going to get a chance to actually go up and take a look at the view.
Yes, exactly, and I'm excited about that. We're going to take the film crew out down a sled, and they can actually see the terrain features and people going off the terrain features themselves.
All right, so stick around for that and your chance to win ski lift tickets from us right here at Odyssey Television, Channel 6, and around the world, www.odysseytv.org. Don't go anywhere. We're here at Mountain High Ski Resort in the San Gabriel Mountains. And why? Well, simply because you ought to know. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Jim Hall, You Ought to Know, and with me is Ramon. Ramon, introduce yourself again.
Ramon, and I run mountain operations here at Mountain High, snowmaking, grooming, terrain park.
Well, look where we are now. We are at roughly 8,200 feet or so, right?
Exactly, yes. Just a little bit over that.
And we're at the top of
West Resort.
West Resort, Mountain High Ski Resort.
Yes, sir.
All right, here we are. We are at the top, and take a look at the view back here behind me. Can you see some of that? We're actually looking right over toward Palmdale. from this angle. Victorville back over to our east a little bit.
Exactly.
And we came up, what do you call this lift we rode up on?
That's called the Blue Ridge Express. You know, in terms of nomenclature for Mountain High, we call it Chair 4, but that's the Blue Ridge Express. It's a high-speed quad chairlift.
Well, we got to ride up that chair, and let me tell you, what a ride. Smooth, fast, beautiful, and we got up here, and the view is spectacular. The snow, people having a great time here doing it today.
Very much so, yes.
Well, tell us about the snowmaking activities. In fact, you've got right here adjacent to us, and we're going to get a shot of that too, we have the reservoir here where you actually have water stored, and it becomes this behind us.
Exactly, and if you want to pan and look at the reservoir here, the reservoir, the beginning of last week was completely full, and you can see it's halfway full now, so all that water has become our snow.
And it certainly has become the recreation playground here at Mountain High West, because you've again said you have a base now of what?
I would say anywhere between 8 and some spots even 2 feet, 8 inches to 2 feet of snow.
All right, now let's talk about a little bit about the people that work here. Any idea what the numbers are? You have the safety patrol, you have food service people. How many different categories are there here?
Okay, here we go. Let's see. I mean, we have the basic mountain people, the people that run the lifts. That's lift operations and lift maintenance. They make sure the lifts are running properly. And then you have ski patrol, and then you have mountain safety. They make sure all the signage is up. Then you have grooming. They make sure the snow is flat, or they make sure that our terrain features are kept. And then you have the fault line staff during the daytime that makes sure the terrain features, after all the people have written them, are kept up to par. Let's see. Then we have obviously food and beverage. Then you have rentals. They make sure that all the rental equipment is probably taken care of and distributed. We have the Winter Sports School, one of the best here in California. We deal with a lot of beginners, and they're very, very good at taking care of them. And then, of course, we have the other departments that are the backbone of I'd like to say the backbone of the company: accounting and human resources, and retail. All these other departments that we couldn't run as a resort without them.
Well, when you talk about running a resort, do you have any clue what the total number of employees are employed here by the company?
Oh, wow. Okay, you should be talking to the HR department that, but I would say when we're in full swing, we're definitely over 1,000 people.
And I can tell you, you look at the newspaper ads, starting in September, people can start to apply for Mountain High to get ready for that season opening.
That's true, and we're always looking for more people. We're always looking for good people here.
Well, it takes a lot of people to do that, but it also takes a lot of experience. We have people that come from all over actually around the world that come into Mountain High and work, don't they? Yes,
last year we actually had a program with the country of Peru, and I think we did that for 2 or 3 years. This year we didn't find it necessary to do that, but we have been known to do that, yes.
Now, the people that are actually up here doing the snowboarding, and you were talking about the percentage being quite high, a lot of snowboarders now, 80% to about 20% doing the skiing activities. But what's the busiest day of the year during your season? Is it Christmas Day?
No, actually no. Christmas Day wouldn't be it would be the day after Christmas would be one of the busiest day. But Christmas Day, no. Obviously the holidays, MLK Day, Martin Luther King Day is a heavy day. Our opening day is always busy. We expect it to be very busy this weekend. Not necessarily crowded, but definitely busy. And yeah, of course the holidays, yes.
Well, the holidays certainly pack them in, and of course, as you mentioned, the day after Christmas, everybody's got to try out those new snowboards and their boots and hit the slopes, don't they?
Yes, exactly. They're all out here to show off all their new equipment and their new snowboarding jacket and all their new snowboarding boots, all the stuff they just got the night before.
Now, Mountain High is owned by a corporation, a company, individual. What is the story about Mountain High?
The parent company is a private equity firm out of Chicago. But the mountain itself, it's its own company, Mountain High LLC.
And the property itself is on a long-term lease. Is that how that works?
Yes, it's called a REITs situation, and that's actually owned by a company called CNL, and they own several assets, ski areas across the country.
Now, when you talk about people coming up adjacent to us here, getting off the lift, they've got these different ski boards, different types of boots, and all the different things. Talk a little bit about the equipment that they use. Is there one board that's hotter than the other, or one boot you don't want to show up on the mountain with?
You know what? You're going to be talking. I'm a skier, so I can't really give you information on what's the hottest board out there right now. I think when you talk to our snowboarding people here, and especially the guys in the fault line crew, they can give you a better idea. But what's predominantly always hot is, of course, Burton. That's always been hot here. Burton snowboards, Burton's boots, and the kids love showing off that stuff. But I am definitely not. I'm probably too old to even start giving you what's the hottest item out there.
But it's all about the name brand, I guess.
Definitely, yeah. It's all about what you're wearing, and definitely what you're. Fashion is huge. Fashion is huge within.
I'm in the fashion. Let me show you what I've got here. We're at the top of the mountain, Mountain High West. I've got my Mickey jacket on. There's something symbolic to that. And I've got headed for the Rose Bowl. We are USC, baby, and we're going. All right. Just like Mountain High #1, right?
Exactly right.
All right. Well, your chance to win some ski lift tickets coming up right here, so you want to keep listening and watching. And why are we here at the top of the mountain? Beautiful weather out here today, by the way.
It's beautiful today, yes.
Why are we here? Simply because you ought to know. Stay with us, everybody. We're going to be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Jim Hall, you ought to know. And Ramon, we're at the bottom of the mountain now. We've left 8,200 feet Mountain High West, and we're in the ski lodge, a newly renovated ski lodge, too. And boy, it is nice and warm in here. We've got hot chocolate going. It's about 29 degrees to the top of the mountain, and not a bad afternoon here at all. And in fact, people started to show up getting ready to enjoy the snow, and so it's going to be quite a night tonight.
Yes, it is, and it's probably going to get even busier tomorrow and tomorrow night.
Well, before it gets too much busier, let me tell you, you have a chance to win ski lift tickets from us. We've got some ski lift tickets. So look at the screen. We have our email address on there. And what we want you to do is email us and tell us why you would like a ski lift ticket to Mountain High Resort right here in the San Gabriel Mountains. And tell us a little bit about your experiences here at Mountain High. How often do you come? Are you an avid skier? Are you just beginning? Tell us why you want a ski lift ticket. And we're going to be picking one ticket each day while this show airs here on Channel 6, Odyssey TV, and around the world, www.odysseytv.org. But Ramon, let's talk a little bit about, we're in the ski lodge, we're in the comfort of some warmth now, but on the mountain you get roughly 500,000 people a year or so. Is that about right?
That's about right. I think in the last 8 years, we've definitely been averaging over 450,000 people skier visits a year.
That's just amazing. And I was noticing the view from the top of the mountain up there. We had some clouds starting to move in. That's a good thing. That means some snow may be on its way. But you can, on a clear day, you can see Catalina Island to the south of us. And you can be at Mountain High Resort from anywhere in Southern California in the greater Los Angeles, Orange County area in just over an hour.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing like that. I mean, I live in Woodland Hills, and you go from being right next to the ocean to the mountain within under an hour and a half. So it's one of the greatest things about working at Mountain High is that it's so close just to everything. And it's one of the biggest reasons that we're so successful is that we're that close and we're able to provide this kind of service.
Well, I mentioned Catalina Island. You can see it on a clear day from the top up there. And if you look north, you can see the tallest mountain in the contiguous United States. You can see Mount Whitney all the way up there. You can see the peak.
I don't think I've ever seen that, but yeah, I'm sure on a very clear day you could, yes.
Yeah, they tell me you can see it up there, so I guess it'd have to be one of those clear days. Go up and take a look.
Yes, exactly.
All right, the average person that comes out here, do you get a lot of beginners that come out for the first time experiences here?
Yeah, we do, but we also get a lot of experienced riders as well.
And what's the percentage of rentals? How many people have their own gear? How many people rent?
Oh, I couldn't give you a percentage on that, but I'd venture to guess on any given Saturday, maybe 80% already have their own equipment. I can't really give you an count on that, though.
Do the rentals ever sell out? We're all done for the day?
Yes, they do. They do sell out, especially in our biggest weekends. There can be situations. That's why we always encourage people to come as early as possible.
Well, and better than that, if I knew I wanted to come next weekend, can I make a reservation type? Can I get my ski lift ticket and make reservations on rentals?
Yes, you can. I think you can do that online, and everyone's welcome to make a call into the guest service and then make those arrangements already, yes.
All right, and you can call guest services here at Mountain High Resort. Now, Mountain High West is where we are, but tell us again about the resorts. Refresh our memory about that.
Okay, there's 3 resorts. There's Mountain High West. Here at Mountain High West, we're catering mostly to the snowboarding terrain feature crowd that's looking to hit those jibs and rails. And then at Mountain High East, which is actually a bigger resort, that's actually higher there, we keep that groomed, nicely groomed for the skiers and snowboarders who would rather ski something other than terrain features. And then we have our newest resort, Mountain High North, where we have a tubing playground, and we also have lift access terrain there. That's more or less a beginner area there too.
That used to be one of the old resort areas. I don't even remember the name of it, but a campground is adjacent up there.
Exactly. It used to be called Table Mountain, and then it changed its name to Sunrise, and now it's Mountain High North.
Mountain High North, and a beautiful view from up there. You can look back over the desert views as well.
Yes, it's actually a very pretty, it's very different than all the other three resorts, just because it brings you back to a certain time of skiing when things were a little more old-fashioned. The lodge there is very alpine. People enjoy it.
Now, we rode the ski lift all the way to the top of the mountain, and we did that in about a minute and a half. What is that lift called?
Blue Ridge Express, Chair 4, yes.
Well, that is a fantastic ride. We talked about that a little bit, but the camera crew got to come down kind of the old-fashioned way. Tell us about that.
Yes, they actually went down on, whenever there's an injury on the hill, the patrol takes them in what we call sleds or toboggans, and we gave them the opportunity to 2x2 to get in each in a sled and experience the mountain from that angle. It's a very unique experience. It's very thrilling. We don't usually get to do that too often, and usually the only time you'd actually be in a sled is if you were injured, so it's nice to be able to take down people who weren't injured for once.
Well, let me make sure all the folks know out there, none of our camera crew, none of our students, nobody from Odyssey Television was injured. They got to enjoy the ride. In fact, look at some of these shots, beautiful shots, some snowboarders working the jib out there.
Exactly. No, I'm glad we were able to do that. It's a unique experience.
Now, tell us a little bit real quick about your experience. How long you been skiing?
God. Okay, let's see. I started skiing when I was 9 years old back in Vermont, and I've been doing that since then, and I'm 43 now, so it's been over 35 years, yes.
You come from ski country and maple syrup country, do you?
Exactly, yes. And then I continued to ski when I was in college, and then I joined the Army and continued to ski in Europe.
Well, congratulations on this place. Mountain High is fantastic. This beautiful lodge room, place to warm up, the beautiful mountain, all groomed, ready to go, and you're already doing it. The season's underway.
Yes, sir, that's right. And was she pointing at me, sir?
No, she was pointing at me. I don't know. She was watching the skiers out here.
Okay.
I guess we're going to have to go back out and hit the slopes. I'm not sure.
Okay, very good.
All right, Ramon, thanks for being with us. Mountain High Ski Resort is where we are in the San Gabriel Mountains. A phone number?
760-249-5808.
All right, and remember to get the email to us, your chance to win ski lift tickets coming up right here. Why are we here? Mountain Resort, Mountain High Ski Resort in the San Gabriel Mountains? Well, simply because you ought to know. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be right back to wrap it up. Well, that's going to put the wraps on another show, everybody. Jim Hall, you ought to know, from the Mountain High Ski Resort here in the San Gabriel Mountains. And as you can see, people are having a great time enjoying the snow. And it's going to be a great season. You can already tell by the way it took off with our group. We went all the way up 8,200 feet to the top of the mountain. We could see out forever. And you got a chance to see Catalina Island, Mount Whitney way out to the north, Palmdale way out to the west, and, of course, our own Victor Valley right out here to the east. Mountain High Ski Resort, what a place. Renovated ski lodge and ski lift tickets, and we've got them. Thanks for watching, everybody. Why did we come to Mountain High Ski Resort? Simply because you ought to know. See you next time.